phone calls at all hours of the morning. On boats, in harbours, in foreign bars, at a palace, outside a palace in Monaco, on tropical beaches, up and down mountains, in ski chalets, posh hotels, and a French hospital where he slipped on the ice and knocked himself out. And phoned me up to say, like, I'm still alive. I was okay. I then decided to contact his Australian and New Zealand friends, and there are some in this room I know, and I asked them, do you have any stories about Ad that are clean? So he come back and
see you all later.
But we do have these, and these may be a bit of a memory for some of you, I don't know. While on a diving trip, the normally well-organised Anto managed to lose his shoes, his jumper and his airline ticket all on a single day. On a boys' trip to South Africa, Anto learned the importance of not lying to your mates. Anto loves his sport and is very competitive. Even in a sport he doesn't understand. It gets better. When we took him to an Aussie rules match at the Oval, the boys had a game of kick to kick, a friendly game of kick to kick on the field. Now, Malcolm, you all know Mal? Malcolm? Yeah. Okay. Malcolm had been tackled with the ball and taken to the ground with an overzealous ant decided to run in and perform an almighty belly flop on top of himself and Grant. Malcolm heard a loud crack, felt a lot of pain, and the following day realised that Ant had broken 2 of his ribs. They've never been the same since. It was only weeks later that in another football game, he crash-tackled another guy, Felix, and managed to break his arm. Ant also likes to dress as a lady.
Thanks for the purple dress.
Don't forget, people. Touching on his feminine side, I'm also told to talk about. Sorry, do you want to?
Yes, please. Yeah. Very good. Thank you.
A lot of his friends said about him dressing up as a female, about his poofy lager tops and not being able to drink beer like a real man. His lack of ability to put hot sauce on his Nando's chicken like the rest of the boys and always going for poofy lemon and herb. Oh, and maybe, bear in mind, despite all the stick we used to get for playing netball every week, he always came out with a well-thought-out justification for everyone, and it was never to see the hot chick sweat. Let's talk about Laura. He then met Laura, and I'm not going to discuss how they met because Anthony's going to do that himself. But guys, www.mailorderbride.com. They do make, I think you'll agree, they do make an extremely handsome couple, even though he wears lifts in his shoes. And he's unbelievably romantic. He did try to propose on Sydney Harbour Bridge and then discovered that, number one, it was too windy, the bling was too big to get up, and Laura was scared of heights. So he opted for underneath Sydney Opera House, which was lovely. So he's now embarking on a new chapter in his life. I think he's going to be a great husband. He's going to be a smashing family man. And when I asked George and Lottie how they felt about Anne moving into their lives, they said, well, at least he's bringing the large screen TV. So, ladies and gentlemen, would you please raise your glasses and join me in as hosts, bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. The Great.